Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble Molten Core guide, I'm going to take a look at Baron Geddon and how to beat Baron Geddon using Ragnaros, now that Ragnaros has been limited to plus 10 levels from the Gryphon rider. And I have to say Ragnaros is performing really well even after being limited to plus 10 levels. And this is the Ragnaros army that I'm using currently in the open queue. I've killed Geddon a bunch of times after the nerf now, and I really like this specific army. So in this army I have Dark Iron Miner, and I have the Dark Iron armaments here because Dark Iron Miner then can become armored and then start reflecting damage thanks to Ragnaros' leader ability. Then I have a Fairy Dragon with Fey Blessing. It's off-slotted. I don't have two Blackrock minis in this army, but this is mostly to give Fey Blessing to the Gargoyle so that the Gargoyle becomes resistant. If Gargoyle was a couple of levels higher, then it wouldn't need resistant for anything, which would then open up this slot, and then I could potentially put there like Shaman or Whelpex, something along those lines. Then I have the Gryphon rider with the airdrop talent, so still giving levels to my Ragnaros, up to plus 10 levels now. So my Ragnaros is level 25, which means that it can become level 35 eventually with the Gryphon rider. I have Harpies with infectious swipes. I've also tried with trinket collectors so that I would be able to use my Harpies also to mine, but that just reduces their DPS so much that I haven't been happy with it. And then I of course also run into the problem. Then I have this Blackrock slot if I don't use the Dark Iron Miner. I guess I could use a Pyromancer there. That would like be the main alternative, but I kind of like the Miner and then infectious swipes Harpies. And then I have Priestess with Empowered Renew talent, and the talent is very important. Ragnaros receives minus 75% healing from all sources, but Empowered Renew is a percentage-based effect and not affected by that. So the first time your Priestess casts Empowered Renew on Ragnaros, it heals Ragnaros for 10% of Ragnaros' health. There's a special limitation that it only works once per Priestess, but as you cycle through Priestesses, each Priestess is going to heal Ragnaros for 10%. And then I have Gargoyle with the statue talent here, so Gargoyle is here to kill Geddon. The idea here being that I'm able to defend, defensive tools, plenty of defensive tools here, get levels on the Ragnaros, heal Ragnaros, defend with Harpies, mine with Dark Iron Miner, go on some kind of offense with the Gargoyle plus Fairy Dragon. They might be able to take some towers for me. That's just building up the Ragnaros. Ragnaros can go up to plus 10 levels. 25 Ragnaros is enough for this to work. 35 Ragnaros is fine. It's not completely invulnerable, so there is also a chance to fail, which didn't really exist in the same way before all of the nerfs, the healing nerf plus the levels nerf. But it is very strong defensively. And there's basically three scenarios that can happen. The first is that somebody that you're teaming up with in open queue uses the Meat Wagon strategy, in which case you get your Ragnaros and you might get a couple of levels, and if everything goes well and you get a couple of towers, then even though they go with the Meat Wagon once Geddon is at 8 o'clock on the left side, then you will be able to also join with your Gargoyle. So Geddon wipes the minis when there's a phase change, so one Gargoyle per phase. So if they go in, then you wait, and once there's a phase change, you can send your Gargoyle in to relieve some of the pressure and otherwise try to defend. Of course, if you lose the top towers early, if you fail to take the top towers, then it can be really difficult to defend that, and even Ragnaros might not help because Ragnaros doesn't get very many levels by that point. Then the other scenario is that you're able to get Ragnaros going, and your partner is doing good map control. You can of course help with the Gargoyle and the Fairy Dragon in that. And in that case, Ragnaros is eventually going to get those plus 10 levels. That's going to happen like a minute or two before overtime. And at that point, you can pretty much just attack Geddon. So sometimes you can attack Geddon like on the second round that it makes, for example, or maybe a little bit later. But you can take on Geddon before overtime if your partner is adequately equipped. And then there's the third scenario, in which case you have to do a lot of stuff, and that means that even though Ragnaros reaches its peak already way before overtime, then you probably want to wait until overtime so that you push at Geddon so that you will have more gold available. And it's just a matter of recognizing, okay, which situation are we in? When do I want to push? When do I want to support a push? But Ragnaros can help with all of those plans. And this is what Ragnaros versus Geddon looks like in the open queue in action. Okay, Ragnaros versus Geddon in the open queue. Here I'm actually meeting someone who is already farming Geddon with their Rend. So they are going to use the meat wagon strategy. Of course, I don't know it at this point. I start with my Ragnaros. I start giving levels to Ragnaros. So sending out that Gryphon rider through the middle. And just grabbing some chests. Handling some enemies. I could heal Ragnaros at this point. Yeah, so here we've sent the priestess and empowered renew, as you can see, plus 10%. That's just beautiful healing right there. So here we go. I'm trying to send a little bit of support to the left side, just seeing whether there's going to be any need. There wasn't really. So my partner has pretty high levels and they are taking the top towers. Everything is looking really good. Ragnaros is defending. Ragnaros has gotten a couple of levels. Ragnaros is at good health. And we have a bunch of stuff going around the map. So, in this kind of situation, typically I would go for a second round of Geddon around the map. And then Ragnaros would have enough levels to really fight well against the fire elementals. But in this specific game, my partner is on the meat wagon plan and going in with the gargoyle already now. So I'm sending some harpies to defend the right side. And now I'm saving some gold. So I'm getting ready so that when the phase change is going to happen, I can send a gargoyle in. Phase changes now. It was a little bit late, but it arrived, and then I'm sending in my gargoyle. Partner's sending in their gargoyle as well. I'm trying to defend the top right tower a little bit with harpies against those fire elementals. Another phase, sending out another gargoyle, and all the fire elementals are going the long way, and this was just pretty much perfect. Obviously, it helps a lot that my partner had very high levels there. And you can support this also with Ragnaros if you see your partner going for that one. And here we go again. Ragnaros versus Geddon, again teaming up with Rend. This time we have a level 27 base, so this Rend is pretty decent levels, but not quite as high as the previous one. But still, they have a 29 gargoyle, so there are some tools in this one definitely available. So here we go. Blasting a little bit. Placed that dark armor a little bit too close to the tower. It could have taken another shot if it was a little further away. Could have tanked a little bit longer. But anyway, things are looking fine. So I'm also sending out my own gargoyle. And at this point I don't know yet exactly what my partner is planning to do. I know that I want to keep growing this Ragnaros, if that is possible. And if we can take some towers, all the better. But we're just chilling. We got both of the top towers by now. So life is looking really sweet. Everything's looking quite good. Alright, healing up the Ragnaros. We have some gargoyles and a Rend. Stuff coming for the bottom right tower at the moment. That's looking good. I'm sending my gargoyle up top because I noticed that my partner is not going for an immediate push now. We were in pretty good position. We potentially could have already pushed here, so that would have been possible. But typically, because my Ragnaros is not that high, it only starts from 25. If it started from 30 and it would have been something like 33 there, then I guess I could have also just pushed already. But I just tend to like to level it up a little bit further, push a little bit later, just get everything ready. So in my current version of the deck, I don't have tools to prevent Geddon from building the towers, but I can send Gargoyle plus Fairy Dragon in an attempt to get the tower back pretty quickly. So we're controlling 2 of the towers at the moment. Everything is looking pretty sweet. The gargoyle is pushing. Things are looking up. Alright, we got that tower. So at the moment we have all the towers. So Geddon currently cannot actually even play minis. But here of course I'm not able not able to grab those towers back very well. I'm just sending gargoyles, and I'm sending gargoyles in places where we don't have a lot of minis, because Geddon has Living Bomb. And I don't want Geddon to be able to use the Living Bomb on our minis and just wipe all of them out. Like if they get really clumped together, then they're just all going to die at the same time. Now Geddon got a little bit stuck on the top right, which is not ideal. Please go away, Geddon. Now it's finally moving away. Alright, that's okay. And let's see. Potentially, if we get a phase change here, I think we should push. We probably should push now. Defend the towers and then push. I don't have anything to defend the bottom right with. I'm able to defend the bottom left, I think, and I am. But I do have the gargoyle, so they won't be able to play anything there. And now I think we're going to go in. So, being a little bit opportunistic here. Ragnaros already has quite a few levels. So, Ragnaros is fine. Obviously there's some stuff attacking Ragnaros right now, but that's okay. Ragnaros is fighting against them, getting levels, getting heals. And we get another phase. And then we can just send more stuff. So, no need to wait for overtime when things are going well. Like, the weaker you feel, the more you need to wait for overtime, and then attack Geddon on overtime with that extra gold. And the stronger your position, the earlier you can attack Geddon. Oh, here, Geddon goes down. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.